Hello and welcome back. My name is Rick Phelps, and today I'm going to discuss the 3 questions you need to ask before investing in Industry 4.0. If you're investing in industry technologies, Industry 4.0 technologies, you're looking to make a return on investment. And most companies, in my experience, do the analysis poorly and end up not getting the return on investment they expected when they approved a project, whether it's technology or capital or whatever. And so these 3 questions are the questions that need answering before you invest in any technology. And the first one is, will this investment increase throughput? Now, each of the 3 questions are related to how your business makes money. All right. And this is by far the biggest lever in any business is throughput dollars. And so first thing you want to do is make sure if you're investing in technology that you are doing it in a way that's going to increase throughput. And throughput is defined as your revenue for the product minus your truly variable expenses. And truly variable expenses typically are your materials and your shipping costs and any other expenses you pay to outside businesses. And another way to look at it is the throughput dollars is the money that stays in the business and pays for your value add. So it's a representation of your value add. When you have a project, you're going to implement a cobot or a robot or AI or IIoT. Is it going to impact your ability to make throughput dollars? That is your ability to sell more product and get more revenue and therefore more throughput dollars. If it's not, if the answer is no, you probably don't have a great project here. However, there are 2 more levers that your project may hit. And the second biggest lever is, will this investment in technology decrease your inventory? And inventory has a very specific definition. It's the money invested in the things you sell. And so inventory is, inventory expense in this case is defined as the money you spent on your raw materials. Right, the things that you're going to convert into your products. And so is this technology going to allow you to spend less money on materials so that your inventory costs, the amount of money tied up in things you ultimately intend to sell, will go down? If the answer again is no, you probably don't have a good project, because the third area of improvements is in operating expense. Will this investment decrease your operating expense? And operating expenses is the money you spend converting inventory, that is your materials, into throughput, that is products that you sell. All right. Now, please listen carefully. Decreasing operating expenses is the smallest by far of these 3 levers, or 3 things that you can influence with your technology purchase. If you don't increase throughput or decrease inventory, then decreasing operating expenses has a small impact on your business. It's rather a finite thing. So let me share an example with exactly how this can go wrong when you don't ask these questions. So we were working as part of a team working in a turbocharger factory over in England. And we spent a couple of months and synchronized their flow. They were a production process that had a number of machining lines that fed into assembly line, and popping out the end of the assembly line were completed turbochargers. And they were having a rash of problems when we got there, not getting product out. They had lots of work in process inventory and lots of late orders, lots of congestion and issues in assembly. And so we synchronized the flow. That's a theory of constraints methodology. And we got things flowing smoothly. And the work in process inventories dropped dramatically. Late orders became a thing of the past, and things were running really smoothly for a couple of months. And then chaos happened again. And so we got called back to England. So, hey, this process isn't working. And interestingly, unbeknownst to us, in an area of the plant we didn't focus on because it was running perfectly fine, they decided to purchase some technology, and they bought a multi-axis machining center to replace part of the manufacturing process of one of the components of a turbocharger. And Before the implementation of technology, they had 3 machine tools, each nominally taking about 10 minutes to process a part. And they were able to replace these 3 machines and 3 operators with one multi-axis machine that could do the whole job in 15 minutes. Now, if you look at that 15 minutes versus 3 times 10 minutes, that's a 50% reduction in time. And so this was a cost-saving project. And what actually happened? Let's think about this. 15 minutes. So in the past, when everything was running smoothly, parts were popping out of this production line at a rate of 1 every 10 minutes. They implemented this technology improvement, and it took 15 minutes for a part to come out. And that was a 50% reduction in throughput. Right? And so what happened? Well, first of all of a sudden they had a lot of late orders. And any of the turbochargers that required parts from this production center became chronically late. All right, so throughput, question 1, will this investment increase throughput dollars? The answer was no, it actually decreased throughput dollars. They were making 50% less of one of the components. Plant ran around the clock, there was no making it up. This was a major problem. Second of all, did this investment decrease inventory? And the answer is no, because these parts were slow in getting to the assembly line, work in process for all the turbochargers, like 50% or a third of the turbochargers. They were sitting around all the other components waiting for this one component to come through so they could be assembled. So work in process inventory increased. The dollars tied up in inventory increased. And will this investment decrease operating expense? And here's the real kick in the butt, right? So they had 3 operators, now they had 1 operator. And so what do they do with the operators? The only way for this to actually have reduced costs is for those 3 operators to have gone away. So did they? No, they just got reassigned to another area of the plant because that's the way this plant operated. They didn't like laying people off. So it decreased throughput, it increased inventory, and it increased operating expense. All that for just a few $100,000 investment in equipment. And that's, my friends, why if you don't ask these questions, the ROI can not only not be what you expect it to be on your investment, it can be a freaking disaster. And so to avoid that, learn more. Check out our blog series, Understanding Your Economic Engine, here on this website, and or get in touch with us. My name is Rick Phelps. Again, you can get me at phelpsltd.com. That's my email address, and that's my cell phone number. So if you're getting ready to invest in technology and you're wondering, is that light at the end of the tunnel? Really a light at the end of the tunnel? Or is it merely a train coming your way? Find out the answer before you write that check. Have a great and prosperous day.